Hey, it's Melissa from Kiwibanana, and today I've got my friend Mordecai here with me.
My name is Mordecai, and I am originally from Malawi, which is in Africa, because quite often I get asked when people say, where are you from? And I say Malawi, and then they say, where is that? And then I say Africa.
Yeah.
So,
Whereabouts in Africa is
Southeast Africa. So it's a tiny little place, maybe smaller than, maybe about the same size as the South Island, just about. And I've been in New Zealand 6 years come February.
Yeah.
February next year. And officially as of October 25th, been vegan for 1 year.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, just haven't looked back ever since.
Do you want to tell us about how you come to veganism? Like, how did you find out, or like your journey until where it got you there?
So I'm quite into long distance running, and so I'd come across this guy. I can't even remember how I came across this guy. Rich Roll, and started listening to his podcast. I was like, this guy's kind of cool. So, and then I didn't know at first that he was vegan.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's really weird. And then so I started becoming like quite interested in it. Like, yeah, let's check out what this whole thing is about. And then on this one episode, he had, I think, the 300-pound vegan.
Yeah.
And then they're talking, and then like this documentary comes up, Forks Over Knives. I was like, boom, that's a plug right there. So that's one way I can check it out, because before it was like, where do I even start?
Yeah.
All this stuff. So like, okay, fine, let's see what this documentary is all about. Got the documentary, and if I think hard enough, I can probably remember the date I watched it, because it was in October, and watched it and I was like, whoa, like, why am I only finding out about all this stuff now?
Yeah.
And like literally overnight, like I just went vegan, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I think my diet was pretty poor, because I was like, just literally all meat, dairy, out. I don't know what I'm gonna eat, but it's not that stuff.
Yeah.
So just started eating pretty poorly, and then I think it was about a week later, on one of my cycles when I'm commuting, I'd come across a poster that says Veg Expo.
The library is closing. Please pack up your belongings and exit the building. Thank you. The library is closing. Please pack up your belongings and exit the building. Thank you.
Back to what you were saying.
This Veg Expo site. Oh wow. Let me check this out. So I went on the website, and I was like, let me just volunteer, and then just start. Hopefully I'll meet someone who knows what the hell is up with this vegan stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I volunteer, and then like, whoa, like just a whole new world, and I meet so many different people, and like, I meet all these different people, and they tell me all about this and all about that, and food, and all this different stuff, and then sort of just submerged into the world, not the world, but rather the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because it's, at first I thought it was just a dietary sort of thing, but it's a lifestyle, and then just getting submerged into that, and then yeah, it turns out I actually made a lot of friends who are now still friends, and it was just an amazing experience.
Because I think I met you. You come along to an event that I had. Was it a Christchurch vegetarian event?
I think it was at.
Was it a vegan club?
It was a yoga thing at uni.
Yeah.
And then I was with George, whom I also met through the CVC, and then he said something like, we're going to, Kim had an event.
Yeah.
Where she was talking with Safe in the CVC.
Yeah.
And then George was like, when we came to campus, George was like, oh, there's Melissa, she might be going, and then he just assumed I knew who you were, and I didn't. I'm like, yeah, Melissa, yeah.
I don't know, I've never met you before. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think we met there briefly, and then after that, I don't know. But yeah.
I think the first time I properly got to talk to you was might have been an event at Welcome dinner.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Welcome's like a restaurant that we always go to in Christchurch. It's pretty much like 85% vegan. It's always like cheap Chinese food, so it's a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
She was so long ago, but it was actually like probably at the beginning of this year.
Was it? Right at the start, possibly.
Yeah, right at the start of it,
Yeah.
I think. Oh, time does
Yeah.
fly.
And with your running, when you started obviously eating a healthier vegan diet, did you notice some improvements with your body, with your mind, with your emotional well-being and things like that?
Oh, definitely. I always have this thing, like if you're a friend of mine, you'll probably know this thing. I say all the time. I say, I always compare it to looking at the weather forecast. Like, you know, the metro service, people don't think it's very reliable.
Yeah.
And so you look at your phone in the morning and it says 4 degrees outside, but you look outside and the sun is shining and it's like, that's not 4 degrees out there. So you go outside in your vest and shorts and you're like, wow, this actually is 4 degrees out
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So you go back in and you put on a sweater. So that's sort of how I am as well. I'm like sort of almost like seeing is believing. So, because I feel like in this day and age, there's so much information out there on the internet, it's hard to even tell. Like everyone's got a different opinion about everything. So.
And what's going to be true for you? Is that what you sort of mean? Like what's going to be real for you?
Yeah, because how there's so much information out there. A lot of information is conflicting. Because
Yeah.
especially when it comes to like diets, you've got so many different diets, and there seem to be more and more each day.
Yeah.
So when I first tried this plant-based thing, I was like, okay, let's see what it's all about. And almost instantly, I started noticing something different. So it was like, boom, you know, there is something to this.
Yeah.
And I think it particularly struck when other people started noticing something as well. Because the Christchurch running community is fairly small, so once you've done a couple of events, where you get to know quite a few people. And I remember I'd done this one race, and I think this was maybe 1 month vegan, and this one guy comes out to me, he's like, man, like something's different. I don't know what have you done that's different. I can't quite put my finger on it. Have you been doing some diet, or have you? I was like, actually, I just stopped eating meat and stuff. And he's like, what? He's like, nah, did you do some new training plan? I'm like, nah, that's it. But what had actually happened was, it, I guess, allowed me to feel I had more energy all of a sudden, and like it just allowed me to go for much longer and much faster than before. Because quite often with a lot of these guys, like we do the same race all the time, so you know, like generally this person will be faster than me. Generally I'm this person's pace, but then like now all of a sudden it's like we're running and like we're not in sync anymore. And yeah, that would have been the first thing I noticed. And also I noticed the recovery time, like after a massive run, you go on and like maybe half an hour or so, and you're like, oh, I feel fine. But whereas before it'd be like, oh man, like next day
Your joints are sore, your
walking all
muscles are
funny.
sore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's before even like knowing all the science behind it. It was literally just cut out all the stuff out of the diet and then just start feeling something different.